Hi friends, today's video is going to be very interesting for anybody who wants to create their story. Now, this is going to be phenomenal if you are in your journey of either speeding up your career or into your leadership area. This is going to be more useful for people who are either a mid professional or at a higher level of leadership. People who are at the starting stage of their career, they will find a lot of inspiration from this video and they can start using this video to make their story, and probably they will see down the line they will be in a position to create it better. Now, today's video is going to be very interesting because you will be in a position to learn the fundamentals of how do you create your own story. Before I begin, I would like to tell to the people who don't know me, my name is Rakesh Raj. I am career and leadership coach and I help participants in their career as well as I help them to lead in their various aspects of life. But in case if you have not heard any of my video, I would also suggest that please go through my yesterday's video because there I have given you kind of lot of introspective question which you can probably be in a position to make use of before you go for today's video. Now, coming to today's video, we want to understand that if we are writing a story, what constitutes our story? Anything and everything that has happened with you so far will help you to frame your story in a nutshell. But from these incident of life, you need to pick up those places wherein you have been in a position to show some leadership quality. Now, I'll help you to narrow it down by making you understand what all you need to do in order to create your story. So if you can quickly get pen and paper, maybe I can give you 5 second or 10 second, or for the people who need little bit more time, maybe 30 seconds should be fine. Meanwhile, people who are with me in the chat, they can continue to send their question if they have anything around this topic. Probably I'll try to take that up during the due course of time. Now, we're waiting to start the journey of creating your story, which is actually based upon what you have done so far and how you can use those events of life in order to create your story. Have you come across any successful people who doesn't have any story? No. So if you are really willing to be successful, then please stay connected with me till the end. Now, quickly write down all the incident which you have seen in your life that has given you any form of learning and has also caused some amount of either trauma in you or probably a happiness in you, maybe something wherein you have enjoyed the most or something wherein you have cried the most. Write down the name of those people with whom you have seen this incident happening. Do make a note of the level of emotion which you have seen during this particular incident. If you are writing it down, then the next set of things wherein you have to also understand when those incidents occur, what was the first feeling that came in your mind? Was it a feeling of fight or was it a feeling of flight? Wherein you had the tendency to face that particular situation with the courage, or probably you took a pathway wherein you ran out of that situation just to save yourself. Make a note of all those things. small things that has happened. When you make a note of what you felt, then the next set of question is, what were the kind of belief that you were holding at that point in time when you were feeling those things? It could be some limiting belief that I am not good enough to handle this situation, or I'm not strong enough to take care of this situation. Please start making a list of all those things which you think were happening at the core of your belief. Now, let's go a little bit more. If you want to go deeper into it, if you can make a list of some of the people, or if you remember all the people due to whom you have been influenced with that belief. So, for example, since childhood, I have been nurtured with a belief which is like, and maybe some of you may also have, that if a black cat crosses the road when I'm about to cross the road or probably come across my path, then that is considered to be inauspicious. Now, I don't know how many of you buy that or how many of you follow that, but you can understand the level to which belief system impacts you, and that gets created in you during your early foundation stage from the kind of observation that you have seen, in the kind of culture where you have been brought, in the kind of environment where you were present, with the kind of language that you were speaking, with the kind of people you were meeting. So please make a note of all those things which has caused those belief, or from whom that belief was influenced. And you will be noticing that most of these belief has been set in you by those people who are very close to you. So knowingly, unknowingly, we end up picking a lot of these things from the people whom we either know very well or whom we are very much connected and learn from them in our day-to-day life. Please make a note of all of them. I'll give you 30 seconds or more. Now, we come to the next step. What action did you take when you encounter some of the situation that were part of your belief? Did you go against that belief and see how it works or what does it do? Or you followed that limiting belief and you suppressed your intention of not crossing it over? I hope many of you remember story of an elephant wherein an elephant is tied to a chain which is small enough, but that elephant is trained or consciously programmed with that particular chain in a manner wherein that elephant picks up the belief that it cannot be in a position to break that chain. Now, this memory is in that elephant since the childhood, and at that point in time, the elephant has tried enough to break that particular chain, but it failed. And somewhere it has set its mind that this particular thing is not going to be possible for me. On the other side, when the elephant becomes large enough, the same chain can hold it, not because elephant doesn't have the strength to break it, but elephant is consciously programmed, and it has kind of set a boundary within himself that the elephant will not be in a position to break it. So the worst part is elephant never tries, or in most cases it doesn't try to break that particular chain. Very few exceptional elephant tries to break that chain. Now you might have been imposed about some of the limiting belief like that, and if you are still letting those beliefs control you, then it is a hurdle onto your growth. So your story could be around some of these beliefs which you have broken up and what freedom it has given to you. Make a list of these beliefs. If you are still holding on to some of these beliefs, find out a way wherein what differentiation it can lead if you break those beliefs. What all are the amount of result that you can produce for yourself. Please take another 30 seconds to list down all such things which you feel can or has created a potential impact on your belief in that particular context. Meanwhile, participate with me on the chat. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me and we'll try to connect it. So, moving on to the next part of this story, wherein what challenges have you faced in your life? It could be a challenge of poverty, wherein you have been brought into a house which had only that much income to take care of your living and basic education. And post that, you are left on your own. In case if a situation has occurred like that, that becomes the starting point of a story. Probably, if you have seen a challenge around your basic education, wherein like you are willing to learn and you are willing to grow, but you are not able to grow, and somewhere your teacher or faculties of the class has announced that this particular person is not fit enough for the education. Has any such incident occurred? Please make a note of them if that has occurred. The people who have been a diligent student and has done wonderful, see what were your level of happiness during those states, and which means like in your elementary classes or beyond it, what used to be an image of you for the people around you. And also think about those people who were mediocre or below mediocre students at that point in time. Where are they currently in their life? Let's try making a note of how did you feel when you have gone into that state wherein you were able to make the required set of development which you needed to do in order to grow. For example, some of you may have even fear of public speaking. And when it comes to public speaking, many people have their nerves almost up to that level that they stand freezing in front of audience. Did any such incident occur to you? And if yes, how did you overcome it? So you can have your story around it. And that can help you to shape your vision, to shape your story. Another set of things which you can fill yourself is the challenge that you might have seen in the surrounding that you had. Probably you were brought up with people wherein everybody had that mindset that money comes with a lot of hard work and effort, And somewhere in your mind, you have kind of imposed that belief that it is going to be difficult for you to earn money. Now, if you have broken that belief, your story could be around that. And you can tell others how you have broken that belief, which will eventually help large people in order to break their belief. Now, coming to other ways, when you have grown up into your career, when you were going from your elementary schools to your college, what was the level of feeling? Were you used to be center of stage all the time? Or were you the kind of guy who used to be an introvert at most of the time, waiting for others to talk with him? And if nobody used to talk, you used to remain silent. Or are you an extrovert person who used to mingle with anybody around you and make them feel as a part of the group? How did you do in that particular area? Please make a note of it. Now, when you've completed your college, were you very clear with respect to what you wanted to achieve in life? Or you had no clarity, and once you stepped out of your college, either you were in search of job, or somewhere during the college you found a job and you went and started making your career in that particular direction. Now, for the people who liked the job that they picked, they would have seen that they have done phenomenally better compared to the people who did not like the job which they have got. Now, you may fall to any of the category, you may be a him or her, but what is most important here is if you are able to make a clear picture of what was your reaction to that first job, and were you doing that job only for the sake of paycheck or to get some experience into it, then that's the kind of thing which has happened. And what has happened in the later course of your career? Did you met someone who has invoked a feeling of what you want to do in life, or probably who has helped you, coached you, mentor you to become the person that you have become? If you are still in the process of finding out that, still it is better. Please start making a list of things which you feel. And if you are currently feeling yourself stuck in the wrong career, you can write that as well. And write down the set of things which you feel is making you to remain stuck in it. Because your growth will start from the day you become observant around what is happening with you. If you are feeling stuck and if you know that you have been stuck into some situation, and if you can list down everything that is making you feel that you are stuck, this will help you to get some series of action which you can take in order to come out of that particular stuck feeling or stuck mindset. And probably that is the next place to build upon your story. Now, if you notice, if you have been writing down, you have been in a position to get a good amount of sense of who you are as an individual. Now, write down those set of goals and vision which you think has helped you in some context, and once you list them well enough, that will make you clear about where you want to head. Your story will also include whether you were visionary or whether you were taking the path as it used to come. Please make note of it. Meanwhile, people in the chat can continue. who sent their message. Now, once you have written up to this level, you can understand where you are heading. And if you have observed any beautiful story, it has a lot of twist and it has a lot of flavor within it. Now, your story could be a very straight story. There's nothing wrong in it. But the lessons you draw out of it is going to be a more revealing experience. Now, if a situation has occurred, the response that you have given becomes part of the story. And when you frame it better, when you word it together, it helps you to make things easier for anybody who wants to read your story. By now, you would have completed at least 70-80% of your story. Now, think about it from a perspective of at any point in time during your life till this point, did you feel that you are not feeling fulfilled? And if yes, then why were you feeling that? Was it lack of money? Was it feeling that I'm not good enough? Was it the feeling that I'm not contributing enough? Was it the feeling of uncertainty that was causing the trauma? And were you feeling always dissatisfied or inferior just by seeing others? Were you used to be jealous about people if they were growing? Or were you used to be happy if you used to see success of others? Please make a list of it. Now, you have to also write down how often did you find yourself empathizing with people when they have come to you. Did they really feel that you are an empathetic person, or did they feel you more straight, and were you able to create that difference in them by being empathetic? Make a list of all those people for whom that has occurred. Now, once you have clearly found, you can see the kind of leadership that you used to have. Was it more of a servant leadership style, or was it used to be more of a dictator oriented style? Please make a note of it. And be very truthful to yourself when you are writing this, because you can draw lesson from both of it. So you do not have to write only those things which you feel others will feel good about, but you should always write what has happened and what was the learning out of it. You need not be good at every stage of this story, but some of these places where you feel that you have been at falter could be a turning point for you and can help you to build momentum in your story. So please make a note of it without feeling guilty about anything, without feeling yourself in any situation of pressure that you have to prove yourself right in front of others. Best learning lessons can also come from a story of a janitor, and I'll end my video with that. I remember reading a story of a janitor, which is more like a sweeper for us in Indian culture. And at the time when that person died, he left $8 million. He used to have a mediocre life throughout his life, kept working almost till the last year of his death, but had a very sensible way of investing thing in certain areas which he felt that his money can grow. And finally, you can see that with that small set of money, he was able to have a wealth which was close to of 8 million. So it really matters where you stand today. But what matters most is where you see yourself down the line and what actions are you taking in order to reach there. The people who wish to connect more with me, they can always connect to the WhatsApp group which is there in the description, or they can always send a WhatsApp message. Someone from my team will get in touch with you and can help you better. Thank you for listening, and it was pleasure connecting with you today.